Alright, we're going to talk about the info dump that Hasbro just did on Cosmic Fury and the 30th anniversary Mighty Morphin Power Rangers special. And I would just like to open by saying, what the hell, Hasbro? Why have you got to dump so much information on me in one day? I don't even know how to begin to address all of it. I mean, we have Amelia as the Red Ranger, we have the Zenith Ranger, we have Javi's arm, we have the RadBug being in it again, we have the SPA badges in full view, we have the appearance of the Green Ranger suit. So last week, I made a video about the inequality in male-coded Ranger colors, i.e. how there have been 30 male Red Rangers and 2 female Red Rangers. And then this week, we're finally getting a woman Red Ranger who is going to lead the team for the entire season. And that makes me think maybe I'm creating the future. So in that video, I have a troll, because I wanted to abstract it from criticizing real human beings, so I used a little troll cartoon, say, well, we've had female Red Rangers before, and then, you know, I show like it's 30 men and 2 women. And I think it's really funny that on this video I made recently on TikTok, where I was just sort of in the moment of first finding out that Amelia is the Red Ranger and celebrating that huge moment for equality and that huge breakthrough in Power Rangers and this feminist moment and, you know, Hunter Dino being an amazing person and getting to be this big figure in history. And like 50% of the comments were, we've had female Red Rangers before. And I was like, you guys are missing the point. Not to mention that I said in the video for a full season. But yes, we have had female Red Rangers before. We've had female team leaders before. So the history of that is in Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. We have Delphine, she leads the team as a White Ranger. And then in Time Force, we have Jen Scotts, who leads the team as a Pink Ranger. And then our first ever female Red Ranger is Charlie, no last name, who is a side character in Power Rangers SPD. She is the leader of SPA Squad, and she turns out to be evil.
Power down.
You're a girl. Red's a girl?
Right on! You got a problem with that?
No.
So that's like a huge moment. SPD really pushed it. They really broke barriers. And you watch that and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a lot more female Red Rangers after this. No. 7 years later, in Power Rangers Samurai, you get Lauren Shiva, the second female Red Ranger. And she comes in as sort of like a replacement for Jaden, the real Red Ranger of the team. I mean, she like takes over and he goes on sabbatical and then he finds himself and comes back. But the only thing that really matters is she's in it for like 5 episodes and then she surrenders the power back to a man. So these things, well, you know, they mean something. The thing with Amelia is a big deal. And it's funny that it took 11 years after Lauren Shiva to get to another female Red Ranger. Funny. But the thing that people don't realize is that media affects reality. After the release of Jaws, the population of large sharks off the North American coast went down 50% because people started hunting sharks because they thought they were monsters. So, you know, it can do positive things too. Having a female Red Ranger lead the season in Power Rangers, and especially since Power Rangers is a kids show, having children at a young age see a woman in a position of power is going to affect what they think is possible and how they perceive the world and how they see women and how they see whether or not women can be in a position of power. And when those people grow up and become the next generation, that is going to affect, you know, our society and how we deal with gender stereotypes and how we deal with sexism. And I think that it's going to be a huge, huge positive influence, and it is a really big moment breaking the glass ceiling. So I've just talked about how representation matters for the past 3.5 minutes, but let's do a complete tone change and talk about how we might be getting a new Power Ranger color. Now that Amelia is the Red Ranger, Zato can't be the Red Ranger anymore, so he is becoming this new color. They're calling him the Zenith Ranger. He has a cape on. At first I was like, is he a Silver Ranger? He's got kind of a sparkle. And then I was like, maybe they'll categorize him as a White Ranger. But the best thing I've heard someone say is a Champagne Ranger, because his suit has kind of like a tan to it with the big silver chest piece and the cape. So that's really interesting to see, like, why is that happening? Where will that go? So we know that, you know, Zato dies in the end of Dino Fury. He sacrifices himself to save his team and the whole world. And then in the kind of epilogue part, he comes back with this new suit that's white and red, very dramatic, kind of angelic look, and he says the Morphin Masters brought him back to fix a problem. So this Zenith Ranger is going to be the new iteration of that, you know, last minute suit they just kind of stuck on as a band-aid at the end of Dino Fury. So, I mean, this creates a really interesting possibility for Zato as a character. Is he kind of going to become like a higher tier of Rangers, some sort of like ethereal being, some sort of mentor character? Yeah, I'm really interested to see where that goes, and also how the Zenith Ranger ends up being categorized in the lists of all of the previous Power Rangers. Javi's arm. As we can see in the promotional video where they show off their suits and they reveal the Zenith Ranger and that Amelia's gonna be the Red Ranger, Javi's kind of like in the background, but he has a metallic arm. Now, there's a possibility he just has armor on. You know, Rangers, there is a history of Rangers having gauntlets or armor or shoulder armor, especially in Dino Fury. They get those armor upgrades when they put the keys into their swords. So it could be armor. But I think that the Cosmic Fury Rangers and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are going to be together in the 30-year anniversary special. And I think that Hasbro, while also like trying to break down barriers and come up with all these new exciting things, they're trying to up the ante. So I think the possibility of a Ranger becoming gravely injured in the special is really there. So I think Javi could be seriously injured, and that there will be real repercussions for that. Not just like he has a bruise and then he's fine later, which is the tradition we've been keeping up for 30 years. I think Javi might lose his arm in a battle with Lord Zed in the 30-year special. And that would make Javi the first ever amputee Power Ranger. And that is also a huge deal, just like Izzy being the first green and the first queer ranger, and Ion being the first black gold ranger, and my cat hissing while I'm rambling about stuff. How dare you? I'm gonna keep this in the video. And Amelia being the first female Red Ranger to lead a team for a whole season, and Zato being this new thing. I think that Hasbro might really do that. And also, since I created the future making that video about how we needed a red female ranger, I'm gonna create the future right now. Javi will be the first amputee Power Ranger. Representation! The 30th anniversary Power Rangers special. What we see, what we don't see, what we can infer, and what we can guess. Now, in the special, we do not see the Yellow Ranger with her helmet off. Now, Charlie Kersh does not appear in the trailer at all. Charlie Kersh is the young actress who has been cast as Trini Kwan's daughter, Main Kwan. Now, we can almost definitely assume she's morphing into the Yellow Ranger. But there's a slim possibility that it's Aisha, because Aisha was the Yellow Ranger. I think they're trying to kind of suspend that tension just a little bit by not showing her in the yellow suit. They're trying to keep us guessing, which is exactly what I'm doing. I'm now wondering, does Aisha morph into the Yellow Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and Main Kwan morphs into something new? There have been speculations about whether or not Charlie Kersh is going to go on to be a member of Cosmic Fury. I mean, we see that she's not in New Zealand right now, or if she is, they're hiding it really well, but there is some possibility there, and you gotta wonder, why didn't they show her in the trailer? They also do not show morphed forms for Adam and Aisha, unless of course Aisha is in the yellow suit. Now, Adam and Aisha have those SPA uniforms on. Before, when they released the picture of the cast that was going to be in it, you know, Adam's turned a little to the side, you could see his badge, people were like, I think it's an SPD badge, and then we're like, I think it's an SPA badge. Now, in this trailer, we've got a full view, you can see Aisha's whole badge, it says SPA, and it says Campbell below it. So they are definitely members of SPA. The season SPD takes place in the year 2025, so since it's 2023, the SPA is probably the agency that... Why do I have cats? SPA is how you avoid the plot hole that we are hurtling towards with intensity of not being in the same timeline as SPD once we reach the year 2025. So, it is entirely possible that Adam and Aisha will get new morph suits as SPA officers in the same way that they made new suits for the Cosmic Fury cast. It's entirely possible. And I think it would be a huge missed opportunity if Adam and Aisha are just offering tech support from the command center. Especially Adam, who is a huge fan favorite. It would be a big mistake for Hasbro to say, oh, he's only in like 2 scenes and he doesn't even morph. Now we see a Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger in the fight scene. I think the most likely thing is that they're doing like in Beast Morphers, it's just going to be a stunt person in a suit. We won't actually get to see the actor. He'll probably only appear in one scene and they'll just have a voice actor do a dub. There is a slim possibility that JDF, rest in peace, did secretly go film a little cameo for the special. I think that that's highly unlikely though, because given the circumstance of his tragic passing, I believe Hasbro probably would have released behind the scenes photos, something for the fans, you know, as a comfort in this time of sadness. The Cosmic Fury Rangers and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the 30th anniversary special. I assumed they would all be appearing together in the special, but in the teaser trailer we don't see any of the Cosmic Fury Rangers. Makes complete logical sense to me why you would introduce Lord Zed in the second season of Dino Fury is to bring in old Rangers who have defeated him before, though technically was never defeated. And this is the part where I feel really sad that the actor who played Lord Zed has passed away, because it would have been a really amazing cameo to have a part where he, as a good guy now, because as we remember in Space, the Z-Wave turns Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa into just normal good humans. So he could have been in the show as a normal good human and seen the clone of Lord Zed out there doing his thing and just been like, whoa, dude. So we do see this picture of both casts in New Zealand together. I just searched for like an hour and that was the only version of that picture I could find. It's completely pixelated, but it proves that I'm not crazy. I'm not having some sort of like Mandela effect where I made up that that picture exists. That is a picture of the returning cast for the 30th anniversary special and the cast of Dino Fury hanging out at a restaurant together. You can't really tell from looking at it. When that picture first hit the internet, it was everywhere. And now it's nowhere. It's a conspiracy. However, that doesn't really prove anything because they were all on location in New Zealand at the same time. Also, if I were writing it, just writing a standalone special with the, you know, old actors from the original series, it feels detached from the rest of the world. Having the Lord Zed connection and having to have the Cosmic Fury Rangers do this big transition to new suits, it feels like you would write it, the two teams coming together. Also with team-ups being such a big thing in Power Rangers. And I think proof of that is the promotional picture of Billy and the others standing in front of the RadBug 2. You know, why would you do that? You drive up in a car and get out and stand in front of it as like a poster moment in a movie when you're meeting someone else. I feel like that's the part where they drive to go and meet the Cosmic Fury Rangers and say, hey, why'd you make another Lord Zed? Not cool. Anyway, those are my thoughts. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Any theories I didn't bring up, I would love to know them.